Hi, I'm Jamila Payne, the brainchild behind Color Me Crafty. Recently, my craft space flooded and I had to come up with a solution for storage. I lost all of my storage in the flood and I lost a bunch of other things too. I decided that this was the perfect opportunity to build a storage table in the size that I wanted. I had this idea in my head, and I love the Michaels Simply Tidy storage options. So I decided to go with that. I kind of planned it out the way I wanted it to in my head and with a little drawing, and it turned out perfect. Today, I'm going to show you the steps that I went through to build this table. All right, let's get into it. The very first thing you are going to do is get everything put together, your cubes, your mobile chest, and your panel tower. Um, all of the cubes will need wheels, and they do sell extra wheels for the cubes. The holes are all pre-drilled, and the holes that you see in the bottom here are ones for you to attach your stuff. Everything is really easy to put together. Each piece comes with these. There's a male and a female so that you can connect your cubes and dividers together. All you do is stick one side in the bottom and one side in the top, and then just screw them together, and it holds them pretty securely. I could not find my screwdriver, so I use a drill bit in my drill. I wanted my table to be 72 by 36 inches, so I went to Home Depot and I got this, and I just had them cut it down to the size that I needed. I also got 5 shelves from this sheet. It's already pre-covered with the white paint or whatever. You're also going to need edge boarding to finish off the edges of your table. This is the way I measured for my holes because I couldn't figure out a better way to do it. I measured out 4 inches on each side, and that is because I know that 4 cubes stacked together is 68 inches. So I left 4 inches on each side, and then I stacked all of my cubes. Not stacked, I set my cubes together, making sure not to move them, and I just took a pin and traced around the inside to give me the placement that I needed. Once I drew all the circles, I removed all the cubes from the top of the table, and then I drilled the holes. I used a 1/2 inch drill bit, and I did get a depth stop, and that's the black thing that you see on the tip of my drill bit. The reason why I got the depth stop is because I did not want to drill all the way through the hole. I just wanted it inset enough for my screws to fit down inside. I left about a 1/2 inch on the tip, and I should have left a little bit more. What I found when I went to screw my holes in was that I drilled too far down still, but it didn't go through all the way through the table, and it was an easy fix. I just had to go get some screws that were the same thread but longer. So it all worked out in the end. I used UV resin inside the holes to secure the screw in. And note that I used the hollow part of the screw, or the female part of the screw, to put down inside the hole so that the male part of the screw went inside the cubes, up through the cubes, and into the tables. But this is the UV resin that I had on hand, and the goal was to get those screws secured in there so that they did not move. I did not realize that the screws were hollow until I dropped this one in. The other ones I strategically put the UV resin around the outside of the hole, which kept it from seeping all the way through. So keep that in mind if you do this, that these screws are hollow. So you'll have to put the screw in and then somehow get the resin around the outside edge. And what I ended up doing is pouring some resin, UV resin, into a little bottle and just squeezing it around the edges. And you want to make sure that these are as straight as you can possibly get them, so that when you put the male side in, it actually screws in straight. Once your tabletop is all prepped, you can go ahead and flip it back over, and it's going to attach the same way I showed you how to attach the cubes. The last thing I decided to do is add some of these brackets on the back to secure the cubes together. And you have to be very, very careful, because the way that these are put together, they split fairly easily. So what I did was drill the holes first and then go back in and put the screws in. And when you're putting the screws in, go slow, because these things split fairly easily. I did have some hairline splitting, but I wasn't too much worried about it. All in all, I was able to get everything secured the way I wanted it to be. I did use some large clamps to hold my, I did use some large clamps to hold the cubes together as I was measuring and drilling, and then I just screwed the brackets in. Here you can see that hairline splitting after I get done drilling these screws in. I'm not sure how to prevent that, but if somebody has a suggestion, go ahead and drop a comment. The very last thing you need to do is put on your edge boarding. And with the edge boarding, you iron the edge board on, and then you take a roller and you roll it until it's cool. And that's how it attaches to that plywood or particle board. Once you've gone all the way around your table with your edge boarding, your table is done. You don't have to use the white tabletop. I just like to use the white tabletop for when I'm doing videos. I wanted something that had a lot of storage, because I have a lot of things. Before the flood happened, there were tons of things that were being stored in the back that could not fit into my dream box. So this table and the other piece that I made using the Simply Tidy cubes will take care of that problem of not having a place to go. This also solves the problem of me needing a bigger table to record my videos on. I hope this video was helpful. Go ahead and drop me a comment below and let me know what you think.